Hey, it's working. Finally. Jeez, Alex. Can you guys hear me? It's working. Finally. Cool, I think it is working. Can you guys hear me? Well, I respect your humble opinion, buddy. Alright, it works. If you tweet, we'll retweet. I did tweet. Alright. We're going to go with the big shots first. BTC. ETH. XRP. Litecoin. Bitcoin Cash. NEO. EOS. EOS. ADA. Tron. WAN. Yeah, I got those. I have LTC and BCH. Wabi. Icon. Aeon. Hey, don't be pissed at BCH, man. If that's bringing money into the market and it's starting to, I mean, BCH is leading the way, much in the way that it kind of led last bull run, like in December. Don't be pissed about coins pumping right now, guys. If you want to see shit popping off the top, because the money's going to leave that and it's going to enter a new coin, and that's showing you that that is possible. So that's what's going on. Yeah, Dragon, for show. What else? Hello, Mansoor. I'm gonna warn you guys ahead of time. It is 9:30 a.m. here, and during this stream, we should see, or the mailman, the mail lady should come drop the mail off, and the windows are open, so dogs are gonna get all huff and puff on her. But then I'll just yell at them, and they'll be fine. Now I'm mad because they're like, "Hey, no, I think BCH is about to go fucking rip," and you were, oh man, lower, and then boom. Yeah, well, I expected a retrace first. Sorry, man, we buy discounts. We don't buy dildos. If you like to buy dildos, I can think of somewhere else for you. I mean, I hit a 2x on BCH. I had to sell it for taxes, but it's good. Finally done tax selling now, as of yesterday. Okay, and then I'm going to take notes on this and send out a comprehensive update to the Telegram and the Discord or something like that. So right now we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, NEO, EOS, I still don't know how you're supposed to say that, probably EOS, ADA, TRX, WAN, Wabi, Icon, Aeon, Dragon. I'm going to put Can on there, Kenya Coin, because I think it's going to pump. It's going to go boom boom. Let me look up and down and see if I can get some more. Oh, Dash, USDT. That could be a prime candidate to pop off next after Bitcoin. Yeah, it just did. Holy shit. Yeah, so big caps are going. That's good because the money will trickle into small caps. Big caps are your sign that small caps are going to pump. Or mid caps, small caps. We'll look at Encrash. OMG, I want to take a look at. Take a look at cash. Told you guys to buy it, and it's up like 30% right now or something like that. 25. Soybeans. We'll take a look at soy. I'm just kidding. I look at that for my stepdad because he's a farmer, and I always like to update him on the charts and let him know how old soybeans is doing. Oh, I do want to look at XLM because I think that'll go boom boom. We'll look at sub, and I'll do a couple more. Ven for sure. I want to look at Zcoin because we bought that, and I want to update it. We bought that a week ago or something like that. Zcash I want to look at. And ZRX. I think that has gone ham bone, but I think it's still going to. And INS. Oh, gas too. Gas. All right, and then a couple Dash, Can, A-Chain, PPT. I'm gonna have to cut it off. Is it lagging? Is it not working? Is the stream not working? Oh, I think it is working. I think it was just lagging on my end. And then, I mean, we could look at nulls. I looked at it yesterday. Oh, that was on the private group. And PPT. And then, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's get started. Hello and welcome. All right, let's look at Bitfinex's Bitcoin. There's going to be a mix of Ichimoku Cloud, and there's going to be a mix of moving averages. So bear with me here, okay? They play together. So like, if I were to take the Ichimoku Cloud off and put the 20, the 50, the 200, 20 EMA, 50, 200. Okay, so the 20, 50, and 20 EMA, 50 moving average, and 200 moving average are like your guides for where the trend is, right? So right now it looks like we're on the day chart for Bitcoin. I would guess this would start to be looking like a flag if we were going down to the 4 hours. Ascending triangle, if anything, right? So like on this tiny little formation here. Yeah. The thing here that you have to be wary of, and I posted this yesterday, like you got to know this shit. Like it is in a very clear rising wedge. It just is. And if you want to draw it from here, the resistance line gets even narrower. But like, here's the thing you got to look at is these will break up less than 70, break down less than 70% of the time. Okay, so it favors that it would by pattern definition, but that would give us, like, until these two lines meet, would be damn near at the end of the month. So I'm not worried about this because, like, if it breaks down here on the 4 hour, I guess you can't delete lines on. Okay, if it breaks down on the 4 hour, like, switch over to the 1 day. If I were to fib this move, well, first, if you fib it from bottom of this move to the top of this move, it's fighting for the 0.5 right now, okay, which is awesome. But with this, if it were to break like this rising wedge here, and the daily will give you a kind of a clearer definition of what the rising wedge is. Because you're going to get rising wedges in bull markets. You just are. Like, there you go. There's your rising wedge. And that could take us right up to the 200 moving average if it flattens. Like, we'll make this orange so it makes sense more. So, it could take it right up to like the 200 moving average as it draws more, and I'll delete that so you can see where it could go. Like that's filtering price right up there. So if it does for some reason, like obviously if this direct move right here wanted to fail at the 200 moving average and break the falling wedge, you'd be looking at the 0.618 or the 0.5 fib to catch it. If you get a wick, like if we were to draw this from the bottom to the top of the move, then like the falling wedges often fall to the 618, 0.5-ish. At that point, the 20 EMA on the 1 day would be all the way up here. So, like, I would love for it to come up here, be easily shortable, 90, 800-ish, because I will throw in a 10x short at that level on BitMEX, like, very happily. Price respects that 200 moving average on the first try. It can go above, it can go below, but it's going to respect that. And if you want your liquidation price to be safer, make it 5x, make it 3x, right? I don't play with large positions, for goodness sakes, but there's money to be made at that 200 moving average. Now, and plus there's the 10K resistance. I don't think for any stretch of the imagination that price is going to bust through that 10K psychological resistance on the first try. There's just no fucking chance. Like, I think price is more likely to bounce off of 9,800, 9,900, like depending on where this 200 moving average is. If it takes like a week, and this moving average on the 200 on the daily is sloping upwards, you could catch it around 9850 to 9900. It could be right around there. And then you'll have that perfect confluence of $10,000 and the 200 moving average, like right there. It's perfectly shortable. And let's say that you are on 5x leverage and it drops $500 to $1,000. That's $2,500 to $5,000 per move, or per coin for that move. So there's a lot of money to be made on trades that set up like this. But if you were to, let's draw it from the bottom of this. That's a steeper trend. That's probably how I would draw it, to be honest with you. So draw like this on the daily. You can look on the 4 hour, but pay attention to the daily because that is more of your real market structure. And try to get it to filter, like try to watch it filter and notice how it does up to the 200 moving average on the daily. Am I not screen sharing? Whoops. Hey. Oh, who texted me? There we go. Sorry guys, I do something stupid every stream like that. I do something stupid every single stream. All right, let's recap. Daily, Bitcoin. My fault, I apologize. Rising wedge, these yellow lines. And I'll make this fib line blue so it doesn't, there we go. Rising wedge, up to the 200 moving average on the daily. By the time it would get up there, if it wanted to respect this rising wedge, which I think it's clearly within, now it could go sideways and that'd be awesome. But if it does break this rising wedge, like the 0.5 is lined up with this 1 day 200 moving average, you could get a wick down to this 0.5. The 618 would complete an inverse head and shoulders pattern if it dropped back down. And you'll often see them bounce to like the 618, 0.5. But the longer this hovers around 9,000, the less likely I think it goes under 8,000. Because the velocity of trend for all these other big cap coins like Bitcoin Cash and Dash is starting to pick up and Ethereum has picked up. Like for these coins, it's showing that there's strength in the market. Why would people want to dump Bitcoin that low? I don't know. If it gets down to 618 around 77.50, 77.20, I will long that area like with a smile on my face. But right now, I think a wick down to the 0.5 fib is probably more likely 81.20-ish. Maybe a wick down to 8,000 and then a close above. And then a close above the 1 day 20 EMA, somewhere around there. But as this filters up to the 200 moving average, you guys need to be prepared to short that really quick. That would be pretty badass. So, and like, if it comes up to here, that would be, and this is your left shoulder, and that's not, it's starting to get away from the inverse head and shoulders pattern, unless it wants to, I mean, if I delete this fib here, and it wants to come up to here, like work its way up to 11.5, come back down, catch this trend line one more time, and continue on, that would be the world's greatest inverse head and shoulders pattern of all time. This is way down the line, though. I'm not worried about that. Right now, the money is in alts. Like, and I'll just show you the Ethereum chart. And so, BTC short 1 day, 200 moving average. And when you short that 200 moving average, let it ride, right? Like, but I'm not looking for more than like $300 to $500 per move. I'm not comfortable with it. That's a hell of a trade right there, and I'd rather get out a little bit too early on that short than get out too late and panic sell. I don't know. Because Bitcoin, King Kong can come big dick swinging and be done with it real quick. So another thing is that we aren't bullish yet. The 20 hasn't even crossed the 50. 20 EMA hasn't crossed the 50, and the 20 hasn't even crossed the 200, let alone the 20 being above the 50 and both of those being above the 200, which is a bullish trend in my opinion. You want the 50 above the 200, obviously. They call it the death cross when the 50 crosses the 200, but for velocity of trend, you know, and I mean, look at this. Look at this trend here. All this time, 20 was above the 50, both were above the 200. Here, it just coiled and came back up, false break, but like 90% of the time on this entire parabolic Bitcoin bull run, the 20 was above the 50 and both were above the 200. So that's kind of your signal to be like, yeah, we balling. And then you buy pullbacks to like the 4-hour 20 EMA. Like, I'm totally cool with that. And just let it ride. That's very important. And if you notice, like, so if you would have bought on this 20 crossing the 50 right here, you wouldn't have sold until $14,000. So you would have bought like $4,000, $5,000, $4,500, and you wouldn't have sold until like 15. Now, smart money would have said sell up at 20, try to catch it back at the daily. But at that point, the trend is so exhausted that that's a good problem to have. Anyways, so let's move on to ETH. Man, did we catch a good trade. ETH is moving above the 1 day 200 moving average. Like, if it can close here today and tomorrow and have a confirmed candle close, the daily RSI is only at 70. The daily RSI is only at 70. We got room to get that done. Obviously, guys, we want to come up here. We want to, you know, have some serious trend velocity. What's the volume look like? Cool. Nothing crazy yet. We want to have some serious trend velocity that pulls us 1 day 20 EMA above the 50 and starts pulling those towards the 200. Okay, because we want to get those crossed. And then once we do, it's game on, baby. On the daily, I mean, all right, so you would have bought right here, $300, and not one time would you have sold until at least $1,000. There's your 3x. Just follow moving averages. It's just gorgeous. It's looking so good. I bought some at $400. I just held it because I didn't give a shit. I told you guys to do that too. There's just some levels you just buy and laugh and come back. So let's take off these moving averages. Alright, so it's moving above the flattened daily Kijun. That's huge. Next is a fight around the cloud edge. As long as it closes above here, it's it's going to be a fight above the cloud edge, the daily cloud edge. So like, or to get through it, 730-ish, 735. It depends. You can catch it over here, maybe 700. We'll call it 700. It'll be a fight to get into that daily cloud. Like if you look at Bitcoin Cash right now, it kind of bounced off it, was indecisive, and then once it closed within, the next day it just took off. It's going to want to close the day within that because that's two closes. That's a confirmed close. But it bounced off it. You had a bullish hammer there. That's just a gorgeous bullish hammer. And now you're getting a very full body candle there. That's, what is that, a Mirabosu or something like that? I don't know. But anyways, that's it's gorgeous, looking gorgeous. So I think that's what you're gonna have with ETH is a fight. It'll take a day or two. Who cares? At that 200, and then, I mean, it got all the way up inside this cloud and then dropped. It might. I don't know if it came back and tested. Let's look at the 4 hour. $1,000. So where's the cloud edge at on the daily? Cloud edge is at 1180. 1180 here. Tested 1,000. Yep. This is where the daily cloud was. Bounced off, came back up, hung around. Price was strong enough, and here we go. So we're looking kind of, if we go back to Bitcoin, because we didn't look at the cloud on that, we're going to be looking at the same thing. Now, it's like they're running into each other. So, I mean, if you look at the cloud, that kind of tells you that it's possible for this to come up to the daily cloud and fail here and come down, find support, and there's your inverse head and shoulders pattern. So that's another scenario. Or it could just fucking take off and who cares and we're all having a good time. So with Ethereum, I mean, a good gauge for how well Ethereum is doing is ETH BTC. It just is. Like, because it's ETH versus BTC. And like, this is different price action here. We have a flattened cloud edge for the longest time here. And those flattened cloud edges, much like a flattened Kijun, like, okay, so you have a flattened daily Kijun finally, right? Didn't have one pretty much this entire time when it was anywhere near price. All the way up here, but price, when it was up here, price was at the bottom of the edge of the cloud. It was never going to get up there. You would have to probably do an edge to edge, so bottom edge to top edge, come back, find support at the Tenkan, and then try to make a run at the flattened Kijun. And if you would have looked at that, you would have seen that these are C-clamped. There's going to be more downward pressure to want to pull these Tenkan and this Kijun together eventually. And here we are. So it's really interesting to see how ETH-BTC is going to react. We had a hell of a trade, guys, in the private group. We did 10x for this entire move, up to 10x leverage, up to the Kijun. And it worked gorgeous. So look at that freaking wick, some moron. But it's gonna come up to this like daily cloud edge here. This little Kumo twist right here, this little area where it's real narrow, especially this Kumo twist, this is your chance, Ethereum, to get this done. You have basically 10 days to get through this daily, to at least get into the daily cloud and not fail. That's the way I look at it. So, because look, when it didn't do it here on the daily, this is the reason I say it. When it didn't do it here, this was its chance last bear trend after all-time highs. And this isn't an all-time high, but in US dollars it was, but Bitcoin was much lower up here than it was here. So after its last market cycle, its Kumo twist, much in the same way that we're dealing with now, this was its chance to get through. If it doesn't do it and it comes up against it, yikes. So I want to see it do it. Definitely want to see it do it. Otherwise, you're going to have to, I mean, hope that it's going to take a while, I think, for this to flatten out, this thin out, so price can move through it. And all the cloud, like this cloud here, it's just basically a shadow of previous price action, guys. So, with moving averages built in and everything. So if you look at ETH-BTC, it's on a freaking run. So are alts. That's ETH-BTC is your gauge for how alts are going to do, because it means that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. So alts are outperforming Bitcoin. I really want to see it get through here. It depends on the Bitcoin's price. The daily cloud edge is 720. I'm sorry, 733-ish almost. I want to see it close above that. It's gonna be a fight. Daily RSI is only at 72, so it still has room. It's starting to get to overbought territory, but it can hang up here for a long time. So nothing to do with Ethereum right now. I think you need to buy good setups in altcoins. It's coming up to the US dollar and the daily cloud edge. Let it work that shit out. But use it as a gauge for how well alts are going to do. Let's look at Ripple. Okay. So I noticed this. I had this line drawn forever, and this was just it's crazy how this shit acts. Like, technical analysis doesn't work. Yes, it fucking does. So let's look where our fibs are. Let's look at previous market cycle. If I were to fib from the bottom of this market cycle to the top, and this was last springtime, like right around this time, that would be, you'd see price reverse at the 786, go sideways, fail, and then in between that, just take a death dive. This was when Bitcoin was going psycho and alts just couldn't keep up. Bitcoin was outperforming alts. So, I mean, you want to talk about being a bag holder? Imagine being the dude that bought it like on this tweezer top at like 20,000 sats and be like, okay, I'm just going to hodl. And then, I mean, how could you hold all the way down to 1,100 sats? That's just insanity. And then by the time you sell, like, these are the capitulation, like, taking form here. People saying, fuck it, it's never coming back. And then you sell, and then you watch it take off. I mean, that's an aggressive fucking move, guys. That is an aggressive move there. This move took place within 26 days, less than a month. It went up 1,700%. It's wild. And the reason that I think that this is a like, we have reversed bullish on a lot of these alts is because, like, if you look at the previous market cycle, okay, yeah, it reversed at the 886. Ripple didn't even get to the 786. I mean, it fell through the 618, but it didn't even get there. It held this horizontal support line from the previous market cycle. I mean, it got down below it, but it never did much below it and got right back above. So fib-wise, it didn't get that low. Well, guess what? Bitcoin isn't as expensive on the way down as Bitcoin was getting expensive. So it's different market conditions here. Now, if you look at this resistance, or this, what was a ascending support line, once it broke this, I mean, have fun, short it. It'll come up, retest it, fail. It comes back up, and I always tell you guys, support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. When it flips, that area is still valid for the antithesis of what you were using it before. So it comes up, fails at this line, catches at the daily cloud edge. Now it's going to need to go sideways. Now let's look at the 4 hour to see what kind of market structure may be setting up here. Came down, found some support at the right above the flattened Kijun. On these bull trends, guys, the flattened Kijun on the 4 hour is like your best friend. It is your best friend. If you can, like, just place bids right above it. Look how it respected it right here. And the flattened Kijun is a price magnet, right? Because a lot of times it tells you that, well, first off, it's the mean. It's the dynamic 50% retracement. So when price gets extended, it wants to return to the mean to refuel and keep going. And that's what that represents. But also, you can see a technique here where Tenkan and Kijun, Tenkan's blue, Kijun's yellow, are C-clamped. And that tells you that, I mean, as Chaos Trader says on YouTube, he's good for Ichimoku Cloud. Tenkan and Kijun are like brother and sister, or peanut butter and jelly. Like, they want to be together. Or brother and sister, that's kind of weird. That's what he says. I don't know if they want to be together. It's kind of weird. I don't know where you guys are from or what you're into. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. They can't be too far apart for too long. like for way too long. They at least need to come back and get a little closer before price can continue on. So for that happening in a bull trend, like you guys gotta understand during these bull trends, price is gonna get away from the moving averages. It's gonna get away from the Tenkin, which is above the Kijun, right? And so that's gonna tell you that the trend is bullish and it's getting away from it to the upside. Now, markets move in waves. Like when you see shit go parabolic and stuff, and you're looking back to like Bitcoin Cash, it went up to what, $1,400 or something, $1,500 a day, and you see on the 4 hour, oh my god, it's going crazy. Go out to the daily and look at the cloud. Has it even gotten through the daily cloud yet? No. Okay, well then the trend's probably going to continue. It's got a lot of other shit to work out. This hasn't even stopped yet. It hasn't even really started yet. I mean, and if you look at it, it established, like even Bitcoin Cash, if you go back and look at the chart, if this is truly the bullish reversal, which obviously it is, because of the crazy price velocity that it's had, buyers are stepping in, it established a higher low than the end of last market cycle. So you'll see market cycles go here, like if I were to draw this for you, you'll see market cycles go like that oftentimes. You can see that. And then that, I mean, that basically tells you that, you know, we would go to new all-time highs, a new bull run where we established a higher low on crypto market cap from the last bull run, and in prices on these large caps, that tells you that normal market cycles, new all-time highs are en route. If you just look at the Dow Jones Industrial for the last 100 freaking years, it's just a series of this. Just keep going. I mean, it's the greatest bull run of all time. And a lot of these cryptocurrencies are going to be looking to do kind of the same thing, but just in an accelerated fashion. So when I had somebody ask me in the Telegram group today, like, what's going on with Bitcoin Cash? Is retracing? Is everything okay? Everything is fine. You want to see these markets retrace when they get too far away from the moving averages on the 4 hour or on the 1 day. And you want to see them react positively to those dynamic support levels. That's why we use Ichimoku Cloud, the Tenkin, and the Kijun on the 4 hour, and then on the 1 day, once trend really gets going and it's like confirmed bullish, and the moving averages. That's why we use those, because they're dynamic support systems. And there's areas that you can look at, okay, like price is really far away from the moving averages. That tells me that a retrace is in effect. That doesn't mean go sell your shit. For instance, like we bought, like I'll look at Augur Rep, which actually looks like it's about to take off again. Let me move to the 1 day. As a matter of fact, I will go to my published ideas because I think it's going to accentuate it more for you guys. These are the private ones for the private group. Some of them. Okay. So this was a previous market cycle, established a higher low than before. Here we are again, catch it on the trend line, and look how it reacts to it. Boom, just like that. So, and this would be a higher low than the previous market cycle. And then it would just keep continuing on. Like, and just because this is so extended, and we'll go back to the Augur chart itself, like this probably looks extended on the daily, or on the 4 hour. It's above cloud, that's great. It's bullish on cloud. You could argue that's kind of a rising wedge, but I'll say it's an ascending triangle. But if we take off the cloud and we put on the 20 EMA, like at this point here, or even right here, the 20 EMA was like, I'll zoom in. The 20 EMA was like down here. When price was up here, 20 EMA was like right here. It was so far away from it, right? And so it starts retracing. You get this huge wick, and you know, newbies or people who haven't spent a lot of time in this market will start freaking out and going, "Oh my God, all my gains are going away. Sell, 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 sell." No, you bought the bottom, right? Let this trend play out. Like a trend has a higher likelihood of continuing than reversing. And if you were able to just spot the end of a trend yourself anytime you wanted, like what is a higher probability? You spotting the end of the trend or the trend continuing? Probably the trend continuing. So just be patient. You should expect and you should appreciate retracements in this market because you get to see dynamically these wicks below, these are forming. And they're showing you that the trend is healthy. Like, look at the 4-hour 20 EMA all the way down from these all-time highs. Price just kept getting rejected at it. Just kept getting rejected at it. And even here, when it got above, you still had action below it. You had a ton of action below it. And if you want to see even the 1 day would be a better look at the 20 EMA. Like, you had almost no action below it. And once you did, the trend was over. Yeah, you had a bull trap here. But look how price reacted to the 1 day 20 EMA all the way down through the end of it. Well, guess what? Look what happened last time that price flipped the 20 EMA on the daily and got above it. Look what happened. You had 580% gains-ish. If you get 580% gains off this bad boy, $164. We would have hit a 8x because we bought it at $22.50, like right around that. So let these trends continue, like, and look at this daily 20 EMA. And this is more important than just, guys, I know I'm going on a tangent, but this is, in the beginning of alt season, this is what I'm saying to you right now is so much more important than any individual chart. And I'll get back to the charts. But any individual chart that you're looking at, you need to understand not to freak out in the beginning that retracements are common. Like, look, if you were to compare this move right now to this move right here, just catch it back at the 20 EMA on the daily. Catch these coins back at the 20 EMA on the daily. It's not, during all season, it's not gonna, like, if there's a coin that you want to buy, whip yourself into shape, quit getting FOMO, and buy it on the 1 day 20 EMA and enjoy. Watch it fucking take off. And then guess what? It's gonna take off. You can sell there if you want to and try to buy back at the 1 day 20 EMA. It's up to you. Or you can just ride the trend out. This is how you play alt season. Don't get stupidly greedy with 30% gains or something like that. Get them 500% gains. Get what you deserve. Like, get what's coming to you. You bought low. Don't freak out and piss your pants and shit your pants and sell your stuff at 30% gains because it's retracing a little bit or price is too far away from the moving average. The trend is your friend until the end. Okay? And with price above the 4-hour cloud on a lot of these, and these are all giving you 4-hour entries on the cloud, and showing you that the 4-hour cloud is bullish, and that's perfectly, I mean, if you really want to wait for price to be bullish, wait for the 20, 50, 200 to be in that order on the daily. But, you know, if you're a swing trader and you swing trade on the 4-hour, which a lot of swing traders do, not only with moving averages, but with Ichimoku, which they're kind of one and the same. I mean, they're not, but they are. If the trend is bullish on the 4-hour, it's bullish. So, I mean, we're heading into alt season for all intents and purposes. Everything that I've seen right now tells me that we're heading into alt season. As long as BTC for some reason is fucking shit its pants, and this is notwithstanding any FUD or black swan events around, like if Ethereum gets labeled a security by the SEC during the next month, when I think all of this is going to pop off, then at that point, shit could happen in the market. I don't know, but until then, we got money to make. So if you're watching this and you're the SEC, first off, in the video description, it clearly says that this is not financial advice. But also, can you fucking wait a month? Just give us a month, okay? Please? Alright. Let's look at Ripple. Let's see what... I hope that tangent made a lot of sense. What I'm trying to tell you guys is... Sorry, I just got a text. What I'm trying to tell you guys is don't sell your shit too early. Reap the rewards for patience. Like, if you were in the private group, we got in on the bottom of all these fucking coins. So, don't be a cuck and sell too early is basically what I'm trying to tell you. All right, let's get going. Ripple. We'll look at the 4-hour. I don't want to call that a flag. I guess we could call that a potential... I don't use Elliott waves, but I do know what an ABC looks like, and I don't see three, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be Where's the 50? Here we go. This could be a potential ABC, catches the 50, continue on. Or it could be an ascending triangle forming, and you'll get a lower high here. So high, low, lower high, higher low, additionally, as the chart guys would say. And look something like this. A pennant, ascending triangle, or, I mean, be aware of market structure. During retraces, market structure takes shape every time, guys. So you need to be able to identify those and how they respect the moving averages and continue. So if this wants to go a little bit lower, I don't think we're really in much bull. I mean, we could be in kind of bull flag territory down to the 50 before we continue on. But, I mean, you'll basically get 4 kinds of market structure. You'll get a pennant, a triangle, which are basically the same thing, a bull flag, which is a series of lower highs and lower lows that catch at a key spot, like a fib level or a 20 EM, or at like a sometimes 20 EMA more on the daily, or a 50 moving average on the 4 hour, and then continues on. And the sellers it's usually low volume selling. Sellers get exhausted, and then the buyers take form, or take over. So yeah, with each of these, I mean, you could be looking at something that kind of looks like this here. Just be patient. I think Ripple's is about to rip. And you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of Ripple. There's talk that it could also be labeled as a security by the SEC, because Ripple owns most of the XRP, and it was pre-mined, and it wasn't. There's no proof of work for it. Their argument is that they don't pay a dividend, so it's a utility token, like you need it, and that XRP was created before Ripple, and it'll be there long after Ripple. I don't fucking know. All I know is that that it's alt season when Ripple, Verge, Tron start ripping. So be thankful for those coins. I love to hate on them as much as I can because it's fun, but as a wise lady, Nicola Duke says, even in strong winds, turkeys fly, or something like that. So yeah, you should be rooting on every one of these coins. Bitcoin Cash, root it on. Go baby, go. Fucking pump. Go to new all-time highs. Show us what's possible. Then people start seeing these on the charts, and that's how alt season builds. They go, oh my god, the next coin, I gotta find the next one that's gonna do this. People start getting fucking greedy. So you need to be able to straddle the line between being patient through these charts and then identifying the blow off top, which we did last alt season with Tron. Like, there's a difference between this, still respecting the moving average, and fucking this. Like, look how high this wick was versus this 1 day 20 EMA. Look how high this wick was versus this 1 day 20 EMA. Okay? So be able to identify blow off tops and get the fuck out. Get out too early. Like, and when it starts going crazy like this, trail your stops on the 1 hour or on the 4 hour. Get yours. And it helps, like, you're allowed to sell like 10% a couple times. I do 10% of initial position and then 10% of remaining position. And I'll do that a couple times on the way up to lower my entry costs. Because if you buy at 10, you sell at 10%. You sell 10% of that, 50% up. That takes, 5% off your entry price? So your entry price just became, instead of buying at 1,000 at 10, it now became 9.5. And it gives you room. It gives you room to let it ride, and it gives you your room for your mentality to let it ride as well, so you don't freak out. But yeah, God, Tron looks so good. You could buy on the 1 day 20 EMA on Ripple, guys, and let it ride. Litecoin, we'll get going now. I had to get that off my chest because I saw a couple people in the private group saw like Sub, and some people were talking about selling Icon and shit like that. I'm like, don't play yourself. Do not play yourself. All right, Litecoin is, I believe, yes, it's fighting for the 200 moving average on the daily. And that would tell you that on the 4 hour, Litecoin's bullish. That's amazing. Here we go. And now we're getting an ascending triangle from Litecoin on the short term 4-hour market structure. Pen it. I don't know. Don't confuse this for a bear flag. This right here, because that's not a long enough flagpole. Like, it's just not. Like, your flagpole's supposed to be somewhere like what, 3 times as long as your flag. That's nowhere near that criteria. Basically, we don't have a place to draw this descension, so I would draw a. We'll go to here, and I think it's click. Yeah, that'll draw a horizontal if you hit shift. That'll be kind of your market structure. Now, you still do need to respect that this could be a growth channel. We don't have an ascending wedge. It's not a rising wedge by any stretch of the imagination. That's a growth channel. So that's good. Growth channels grow. That's what they do. Don't freak out if it breaks the growth channel to the right and goes sideways for a minute. Where's the 1-day 20 EMA? Yeah, 1-day 20 EMA is at 138, and as this continues going sideways, and look, it's getting denied 1, 2, 3 days in a row, and today's nowhere near close to being done. We have until 7 p.m. Eastern, but it's being denied by the 20 EM or 200 moving average on the 1 day. So let it do its thing. Try to catch it at the 1-day 20 EMA, in my opinion. That's what I would do in a situation like that. Yeah. So 4-hour, it's bullish. I'd even be buying pullbacks to the 4-hour 20 EMA. It's respecting it all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still ascending. I mean, and the 1-day 20 EMA is like your ultimate guide to how this coin's doing. Because look at go back and look on the 1-day chart, guys. For last time, when it finally got above it at like $58, and then it didn't get below the 20 EMA until here, but it didn't close until here. That would have been a 5x for you. If you just went off, okay, when does the 1-day 20 EMA finally close back below, or when does the price finally close back below the 1-day 20 EMA from when it closed above with a confirmed close? So you're looking at what, $60? That's almost 500%. That's how you trend right. Now, the big thing about that is that the 20 EMA and the 50 were above the 200, and we don't have that right now, right? So, let me look below. Last time I was below. This is Coinbase. Let's go to Bitstamp because I think they have a longer. Yeah. I thought they had a longer. Is Bitstamp not had a Litecoin for that long? Kraken? There we go. Okay, Kraken's had it for, yeah, that's the one I want to look at. So, good God. And if you want to like trend ride for years, like look at that. It didn't get below the 200 since last year when it was $4. Oh my God, this took off at $4, guys. Up to 370. Like, capture these moves in some of these coins. Like, I think I think Litecoin's going to $1,000. I said I'll eat my dick on national television if it doesn't do it by 2020. So if we take this off here and do a trend base, oh whoops, I picked the wrong one. Trend base fib. Touch the 3618 almost perfectly. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to add some to here. I'll have to type those fuckers in. Next one's 430. That's your next stop on the trend base fib. I actually don't even know which ones you would type in. Fibonacci extension numbers. It keeps going for a long time. I'll figure that out later, and let's get back here. Okay, but yeah, eventually when Litecoin's at $1,000, because guys, it's going there. In my God, I will go to my grave saying it's going there. On the weekly, it's still bullish. The 20 is above the 50, the 50 is above the 200, and it bounced at the 50. Well, if you look down at the daily chart, guys, on this entire bull run from $4 for Litecoin, it can bounce off the 50. Just don't get below the 200. Just don't on the weekly, please. So 20 EMA one day. Let's look at the 3-day real quick. It it's above barely. I mean, it's right at the 20 EMA on the 3-day. Litecoin is, I mean, and we could have a serious Adam and Eve reversal here. And that's just a V followed by a U. One day 20 EMA should be fine. I should be fine. And look at this market structure trying to take place here on the 1 day as well. This could be either a bull flag down to the 20 EMA or like a bullish triangle, symmetrical triangle, I guess, bullish pennant. All right, let's look at Bitcoin Cash. I gotta get going. I don't have to leave. I gotta get going down this list. Oh baby, please close above here. Please close above here. And then buy a pullback. Like, let this sort itself out. This looks like an Adam and Eve reversal. It really does. I mean, it's a little tilted, like me, but woo, there you go. That's what I'm looking at from Litecoin. And it's just because this is just going to start spouting off into other big caps. Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple. They're all going to start doing this shit. So where would I buy Bitcoin Crash at? Not here. Oops. It's respecting the 4-hour 20 EMA, but that could be like a tweezer top. I don't know. I think it's due for a retracement. What's the volume been like? It's been very low. That's the only thing, is that a lot of these coins have really low volume right now. Like, I'm still waiting for the volume to come back in, which it will. But like on these spikes, you had volume. We don't have any volume here. This is Bittrex. What does Coinbase look like? All right, that's some serious volume. $48,000 Bitcoin Cash? I don't know how to read that. Okay. What about BCH BTC? And look at Bitfinex. What about BCH Bitfinex dollar? Okay, we did have a volume pickup, but where's the most volume traded on Bitcoin Cash? Let's go to CoinMarketCap. It's back to number 4. Markets. Wow, OKX, jeez. So let's look at OKX. Is that OK Coin? That's a lot of volume. Maybe Koinage would have it. I don't know. All right. Anyways, we need more volume. Volume will pick up when it really gets going, though. I mean, this is nice, but it's due for a retracement. Like if I were to buy it, I'll just go back to. This is just Bittrex, and all the volume is left Bittrex, so this probably isn't the best way to look at it. I think Bittrex is one of the first to put Bitcoin Cash out, so that's why I have it on here. It's in the daily cloud. Let's take the cloud off. I'd probably let this one sort it out, and the next time you get a chance to buy it the 1 day 20, next time I get a chance to buy it the 1 day 20 EMA, I'd probably do so. So 1 day 20 EMA. Let's look at Neo. My baby. We bought Neo at like $44. You would draw this to that. I think this was a 4 hour. Okay. No big deal. 1 day 20 EMA all day. Where's the 50 and the 200 at? Okay, we're above the 20. The 20 EMA is crossing the 50 on the daily. It hasn't yet. Oh, this is Binance. And look at it. There we go. I have Bittrex that has longer price history. Okay, it's above. That's nice. All right, it's above the 200. It's settling there. What's the 4 hour? 4 hours got to be bullish. Yeah, and it's respecting it. I just keep, honestly, 4 hour 20 EMA for me is good for Neo. I mean, that's basically here, 75-ish. If we look at the 1 day, it's 67. But I don't want to see it get back below that 200 moving average on the daily. This would be the 4th day above it. I don't want to see it do that. But if it does come back down, you could have an inverted head and shoulders, but if we go to the 4 hour, does this look like a W bottom? A little bit here. It's very, I guess it could be kind of like a mini Adam and Eve. Either way, it looks like a bottoming pattern. I think it's bottomed, and a 4 hour close above, well, this fib line at $80, 80.20 is going to see it go crazy. I told you guys it had a date with 80, and it got there, so almost. I think it did get there. Almost got there, yeah. I told you I had a date with just under 80 when we bought it at like 45. So 4 hour 20 EMA. And I probably wouldn't buy the 1 day 20 EMA because I don't want to see it get back below the 200 moving average. And then if it does get back below the 200 moving average, I want to see what happens before I would commit to anything from there. So like small positions at 4 hour 20 EMA, and then you can always buy pullbacks to the 1 day 20 EMA when you get a chance. Like even if it goes to $100 and comes back down to 75 at the 1 day 20 EMA, if it would be there, it's still fine, and then it'll just keep going from there. So, so for Neo, 4 hour 20 EMA, not 1 day 20 EMA until it's above 200 MA on 1 day. Okay. Let's look at EOS. It's one of my best trades for a while, and it looks like it's about to go into price discovery mode. What's the 1 day say? And what's the volume like? Volume was really good. Volume was really good. Only thing with EOS is that makes me a little nervous, but if we're heading to alt season, that's awesome. Like if I were to take this fib off here, we literally bought the bottom of this, guys. We bought it at like 55,000 sats. Still holding it. what this potentially reminds me of, like taking form, because we have such an aggressive trend line, and this trend line is so valid, guys. Next time you get a chance, just like I said with Monero on Twitter, next time you get a chance to buy the Monero trend line, and we'll go through that. I think maybe not. I'll just show you real quick. The next time you get to buy this trend line on Monero, I would do it. Monero looks like it's got a serious Adam and Eve reversal coming, which Monero was one of the ones. Monero and Bitcoin Cash were a couple of the ones that led the way last all season, and look who's doing it again. But if we look at EOS, all right, so I'll show you EOS real quick, and then I want to compare it to something, and it's actually kind of fitting. Why isn't it? Where did it go? Where did EOS go? Did I delete it? Must have. Okay, so this market structure taking shape reminds me of off the top of my head, Ethereum's two market cycles ago. It wasn't really much of a market cycle, but so if you compare EOS to this, and I guess I can put them side to side. So we'll go move this, and then and I'll extend this here. So ETH on the top, and we'll put EOS on the bottom. Thank you. And we'll go back to here. Because it had this trend line, this yellow trend line, this blue trend line. Now, Ethereum was way older, but I'm just being cognizant of a potential larger ascending triangle taking form on EOS. And that's all null and void if it has a one-day close above, like, let's just call it 135 KSATs. But this could be on EOS, this could be a gigantic Adam and Eve taking form within an ascending triangle that is like a world's most beautiful ascending triangle. So, yes, this could be your ascending triangle taking form within EOS. Now, since it's, I'm saying that it's becoming alt season, it's not like crazy likely or anything, but if alt season fails for some reason, this is so valid. Catch it on this trend line. It's so valid. Like, you have a pattern, a bullish pattern within a bullish pattern on large market structure. Like, that's insane. Now, if we just go back to EOS and delete, go back to here, delete this. Why is my delete button not working? Only on here. Okay. If we do trend-based fibs, I mean, we're talking about the Ethereum killer here, right? Potentially, people say. It's got a gigantic max supply. So, I mean, if you look at Ethereum, we don't know what the max supply is, but circulating supply is less than 100 million right now. And there's talks about them, like, exponentially cutting the miners' rewards. Like, how many new ones are minted. Guys, I'm going to go over everything. I'm yours until like 11:45 a.m. Eastern, so like another hour and 7 minutes. And then once we get going on the smaller caps, we'll just get going. But all right, uh, so yeah, EOS has like what, an estimated 10x max supply compared to what Ethereum's got going on right now. So if Ethereum got to $1,400 on a crazy pump, and EOS is, I think, what did it say, 1164, 1163. So let's say EOS 10x's from here, and Bitcoin stays the same. It's at 12. Bitcoin goes up. I mean, if it gets to like 4.618, well, what did Ethereum get to? $3,272. So if we go back to EOS and do the 3,272, 454,000 sats. That's a 4x from here. And you can, one day 20 EMA is mine. And EOS is the 4 or 3.272 fib trend extension and 4,454, 183 sats. That'd put it at a little over 100, or I'm sorry, that'd put it at current prices, 50 bucks-ish, 40 bucks-ish. And if we're just looking at Ethereum, if this is the Ethereum killer, the 1 day 20 EMA is a buy, because it hasn't filled you yet on this entire trend. All right, let's keep going. Sorry if I get on tangents on these guys. If I see parallels, I need to point them out to you. Let's look at ADA, Cardano, 1 day 20 EMA. That's all I need to tell you. Could be looking like right here. It's kind of looking like this. 1 day 20 EMA is your friend on ADA. Near it, and just hold it. Just hold it. It's a good project, man. And I believe if I look on CoinMarketCal, and I look at Cardano, yeah, they have their testnet launch in a week and their roadmap update in, how many days are in April? Alexa, how many days are in April?
April has 30 days.
All right, so 10 days. So it's got some updates coming that could help price really get going. 1 day 20 EMA. What's the 4 hour look like? All right, 4 hour 50 moving average. This would technically kind of be a buy. You don't want to see this develop a head and shoulders pattern, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think that's really pertinent. And if you want to be careful here, like, all right, so if this is a head and shoulders, you would have neckline to head, clone, from the neckline, 1 day. Foot's a little bit lower than I want it. What does Fib say? It's a 618. Sprinkle some bids. around 26.50. I don't think it'll get there though. I think the 1-day 20 EMA will catch it. So 1-day 20 EMA. All right, Tron, what a lot of people are waiting for. Oh my god, this coin's gonna go fucking psycho. 1-day 20 EMA slash this trend line. It really doesn't matter. 1-day 20 EMA. 1-day 20 EMA is more important than stupid trend lines. And then the first resistance for me, this was a middle of the 786, 886 reversal area. So 886s go to 0.5s, 786s go to 3.2s, 3.82s. But the first resistance you're going to find that you're going to need to worry about is obviously, okay, this 700 sats area because it wasn't able to get over it before. But 952, we'll call it 1,000 sats. Like 952 is like this horizontal resistance here. So, and it's above the 236 of the current move, this green line here. So, and this looks like kind of like an Adam and Eve. You know, it keeps showing up everywhere, but it's just kind of how it goes. And then the 200-day moving average hasn't painted yet. Should be close. So Halloween, October 31st was when this first showed up on Binance. And today is May or April 23rd. 2 months. 4 months. Yeah, we're probably a couple weeks away. 4 weeks from a 200 moving average painting. But yeah, this is bullish. 20 is above the 50. What's the cloud say? Yeah, we're inside the daily cloud. That give you a potential edge to edge. So we're looking, and the great thing about this is that the edge, daily edge of the cloud right now lines up perfectly with the macro 0.5 fib. So that's an area of confluence for you. And just below that, if you want to be safe, is that 952 sats. This close was 945. Don't play me, Nancy. Okay, 945 sats. This is 944, but whatever. That could be a good place for you to maybe scale out a portion of your initial investment and let the rest ride. Or sell it there, pick it back up with a 1-day 20 EMA if you want to overtrade. So 945 sats is first resistance. Let's go Wanchain. What was I looking at earlier today this reminded me of? Was it Icon right off the bat? Right off the rip? Yeah. Just how it just fucking took off. Although Juan did dump a little bit when it first hit the exchange. So, I keep taking this purple. Alright, because price is respecting. I just drew this from here down to here, and that's my fib extension. We've already gotten the 2618. Juan's a phenomenal coin. Did I take off? Yeah, okay. So, $100,000 sats right around this area is a good look. We could do a trend-based fib from down here to up here to down here, but I need to see more price action. The bottom line with this coin, the only thing that really matters here is, let me get rid of these. These were valid on the 4-hour chart, but we don't need them anymore. So the thing that matters with here, you did get a 20 EMA across the 50, so that's awesome. That's the only bullish indicator that we have. You're not going to get a daily cloud or anything. And you're not going to get a 200-day moving average as well. Volume hasn't really came in yet. The big thing, okay, so notice how I love this project too. I love it. It's a platform with privacy. Moto's that too. But okay. So this coin, as you know, is in the interoperability blockchain enterprise thing with Icon and Aeon. But this is an ascending triangle. If we look down at the 4-hour, or a bullish pennant, depending on how you want to look at it, you have this trend line here that's basically kind of a parabolic growth trend line, and you see this on Bitcoin, like a lot of people drawing it from the top because resistance becomes support, and you have 2 touches. You technically want 3 for a valid trend line, but looking at this is your market structure. There you go. And the 4-hour and 20, or the 4-hour 20 and 50 are at each other. Like, you can get on this trend line if you want, because you have to understand that this could either become, it could keep growing like this, it could respect this, or it could go out here for a longer consolidation. So I told you, flags, pennants, triangles, or rising wedges in a bull trend. There's your patterns. I think if you just take the reins off and don't get so tight with your criteria on patterns, this is a buy zone. You could dump it below the trend line if you want to. If shit wants to get super bearish, it could come down to shit, 56,000-ish sats, 57,000 sats. I think this is a buy and a hold. Juan's going to have staking, so it's going to take a lot of liquidity off the market. Potential masternodes with this coin as well. People fucking love this coin. Price is tightening. The moving averages are coiled. They can go be coiled for a little while price tightens and whales accumulate and shit like that. On the daily, you can try to catch the 1-day 20 EMA. Like I said, if you wanted to draw this and this were indeed a pennant, by the time the price gets there, you will have the 20 EMA right at the bottom of this market structure. So like, you could buy some here of your intended position. So like, 4-hour 20E and 1-day 20E split it. That's how you can get into one. And then let this thing, it's a new coin, it hasn't pumped, it hasn't gone into price discovery mode yet. This could at least double. What's the market cap at? I mean, this is a $5 billion market cap minimum. This is 683. 210 max supply. So it's double Neo. Million. Yeah, let this bitch run. One looks good. Wabi. Let's catch up with comments. Appreciate the tangents. Yeah, it's free perspective, guys. Sorry about them. I'm a fucking blowhard. I like to talk. Gosh, Wabi looks great. It looks like it's taking the next leg up. Yeah. Was there a big volume spike? Is that why that was there? Yes. My Atlanta. I don't think it matters. I think Wabi's going to the fucking moon. 1-day 20 EMA. There's so many coins that you can be patient. You don't have to get into Wabi. 1-day 20 EMA is what I would say. Let's look at my favorite coin. Altcoin. Icon. Oh, baby. And then, I mean, look where we got into this coin, guys. We got it right here. 24,000 sats, just above it. We're coming up on a 2x already. I'm not selling here. I'm selling this shit at like $20 to $30 a coin, like a portion of it. Because when they come out with staking, yeah, Icon has a gigantic coin supply. It's like there's a difference between max supply and total supply. So if you look at ICX on CoinMarketCap, it'll say 400 million, but if you read the white paper, it's 800 million, I believe. So, and then they reserve the right to have to create more in the future if need be, like 20% per year of supply. But that's just if they need to. Like if the Icon blockchain is so like in demand that they don't have enough coins on the market. Like so they're gonna announce staking on this coin. That's all rumors point to that. Not necessarily masternodes yet. There hasn't really been too much on that, but that it's gonna have staking. So this has a massive supply. But you know, as you know, it's going after Korea. So, and then if you add staking to this, you know, if we're talking about EOS at $50 to $100, why can't this be at $50 to $100? Like $50. I'm not gonna say 100 yet, but 50 on a wick, sure. I'm aiming for 20 to 30, where I can just say fuck it and just get out of Dodge. But if you were to buy Icon, they have something coming up. I think they're releasing their mainnet. Like soon. Oh, I said. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The ICO platform. And then June 30th, they're gonna have their Icon Ethereum decentralized exchange launch. But 7 days from now, Icon's gonna have their platform launch. IISS. Is that staking? I don't remember. But if we were to buy Icon, yeah, it's gonna start shooting up to here, like 47,500 next. 4-hour 20 EMA hasn't let you down yet. I don't see why it's going to. 4-hour 20 EMA. 430 ICO platform. Let's look at Aeon. Why does this have Heikin-Ashi? I do not use Heikin-Ashi. Thank you. Let's look at the daily. Oh man, that was the Palm Beach volume, but we've had volume follow up. Like if you look at the volume profiles, so let me extend this here. And we can delete this. If like look at the volume for when it launched to now, I would not be selling this shit. I know that they have their mainnet launch in 2 days, I believe. Aeon. Yeah, 2 days. And so the price is probably accelerating because of that. But what else do they have? Their inaugural conference in Toronto on Wednesday, May 2nd. Token release on May 13th. Token release on number 7, so 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so they'll have quite a few token releases coming up. And the final one is on November 9th. So there's going to be more tokens coming into the market. But yeah, I wouldn't be selling this shit, to be honest with you. Under no circumstance would I be selling this shit. 1 day 20 EMA. All day. Every day. Let me log into KuCoin so we can look at Dragon or Coinigy. Can. Can is gonna pump. I dump it below 2,500 sats. Dragon. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Oh my gosh. Looks great. It's about to go into price discovery. I mean, price discovery mode's above new all-time highs, but yeah, 4-hour 20 EMA. It looks phenomenal. And then hold for a blow-off top. Dragon at $10 is probably a good right before $10 is probably a good target. $312 million market cap. $10 would put it 1.5. I'm sorry, 3 billion. No. 10 divided by 1.31. 7.6. So 2.5 billion market cap. During all season, I could see it. At least $1 billion. Gosh, Dragon at $5. Come on now. It peaked at over $1 billion market cap. Yeah, so we can go to 2.5, no problem. No problem. And if we were to go to... Jordy, go lay down, buddy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Is there a Dragon USDT? Yes. Okay, perfect. So, you're not showing me the whole thing. If it went to 511, let's try to draw this. What did it debut at? We'll do a trend-based fib ascension as well instead. 26 cents. So let's delete this and go to, no, trend-based. Expand this. And we'll go to 26 cents. It won't let me click it. It's okay. Alright, there we go. 26 to 511. Sorry, that's a trash truck if you guys can hear that. The garbage truck. Yeah, so trend based, the 1272 is 667. The 1618 is 835. Those are probably two good places to look on the US dollar chart. And then if it wants to go crazy, 1320. So Dragon. $667, 835, 1320. Okay, cool. I hope that makes sense how I did that. Yeah, I'd probably get out of Cam below 25, to be honest with you. I mean, you don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Neo, ICX, Juan, Litecoin, best overall gains percentage-wise over the next 8 months. No, they won't be the best percentage under no circumstance. It'll be the coins on KuCoin. Or Cryptopia, the small to micro caps. Like, look at this fucking chart here. Look at that. That gigantic green volume spike you can't even see because somebody dumped their can down to, some dumbass dumped it down to 30, down to 60 sats. Like a pleb. Good for you. You deserve it. Um, I don't even know how to fib this. One thing I could think to do is take volume off so I can see it, and then trend based. No. Just do it from up here, because it was bought up to there. And I'm going to ignore that wick. I'll go to the bottom of the market cycle. Oh God. Jeez, I don't even know. That's a 25x. I can't be serious and say, I mean, yeah, it's possible, but this is a real body, so we'll look at that. This, and this, and this real body are your targets. I'm gonna set some text message alerts. I want to know when it gets over here. I want to know when it gets over here. And and here. Yeah, I'd dump it below 2600 sats actually. You just buy here in the 1 day 20 EMA and be done with it. Set your stops, set alerts, and whichever one goes off first, we'll let you know what happened. Let's look at Dash. I looked at Can before Dash. I'm a whore. Yeah, candle close. 1 day candle close below. Yeah, let's look at Dash. Okay. So the 20 is crossing the 50. 20 EMA is crossing the 50 on the daily. Like, when's Dash gonna get added to Coinbase, and why isn't it on there yet? Like, what's Dash's market cap? $4 billion. Doesn't it not say what rank it is? Yeah, 12. Yeah. And it's mineable, and they have masternodes. Like, you want this 4 hour to close above. We have 40 minutes left because it would close above a rising wedge. You draw from here if you wanted to. If you didn't and you drew it from the bottom, it'd just be a growth channel. But the denial of the potential rising wedge would be great. Look for that. Otherwise, if we just got on the 1 day, you know, it's going to come up to resistance at $600. 200 moving average, and that's also the macro 618. But you're seeing coins like Bitcoin Cash shoot right through that, and Litecoin's trying to. So that could be your key, that the 200 moving average maybe isn't a big deal on some of these altcoins. I still think it is on Bitcoin because the $10,000 is right there. And even on that Bitcoin short, you don't have to play with a ton of money. I would say be okay with going 5x and then with a small amount, and be willing to get liquidated on it as a hedge against the rest of your portfolio. Like, get your $300 to $500 or get liquidated. It really doesn't matter, because if Bitcoin goes up like crazy through there, we haven't seen alts really take a punishment. You would have your criteria to get out of alts. You would have your remaining Bitcoin at a profit from where you entered those alts, and then you could just ride Bitcoin through the bull trend if it wants to do that, and you would have all your gains from Bitcoin. And you could short Ethereum at that point too, Ethereum BTC, to double up on it. Like, short Ethereum BTC on one exchange and then long it on another as a hedge as well. So, something you could do. Dash. You want to see it close this rising wedge, but I'd say, honestly, 1 day 20 EMA is where I'd feel comfortable putting purchases in. Let's look at end crash. What are you guys saying? I said dump can below 2,600 sats. I said 25 originally. On a 1 day close below 2,600 sats. I don't think he's going to do it. Be willing to take a loss on that. I will be willing to take a loss on that for the potential insane gains. I mean, you're looking 10x with your eyes closed on that through alt season. Sean, you're like a fucking girlfriend right now with all these questions. I'm about to put you in timeout. I'm joking. I love you. You know I love you. A close, because right now I think it is. I don't know what you're saying. Thanks, G. No problem. I love you. End cash. Yeah, your 1 day 20 EMA is your baby in this trend line. What's the 4 hour EMA? It's got to be bearish. Yeah. But it's done this before. Just keep riding that trend line, which is the 200 moving average on the 4 hour as well. And you clearly have this, which is technically a large rising wedge, but I don't think it's going to matter. Where would I buy this? I'll just keep riding trend line. And 1 day 20 EMA. Oh my god. So gorgeous. OMG. It's almost like a Eve and Adam. So Adam and Eve, which isn't really a thing, but sure. Let me draw this better on the 1 day, because I think this was a 4 hour draw. Yeah. Okay. Breakout retest. I would buy OMG 2 places. 2 buys. Less than 175K. So here. And 1 day 20 EMA. Gosh, I don't know. This would be a breakout retest for continuation. What's OMG's market cap at? Because this has been one of the stronger altcoins recently. 1.5 million. That's still low for this project. This is a really good project. I think Coinbase could add OMG for sure. Eventually, once the regulatory picture is a little clearer. Yeah, I'd be comfortable buying some here, holding it for sure. This could be like an ascending triangle. I don't have technically a rising wedge, but this is horizontal resistance more than anything to me, because you haven't had any meaningful action above. Kind of looks like TRX right now. Does it not? It's not identical, obviously, but what it's trying to do coming off of an all-time high and then the lows is almost the same exact pattern. They're almost in the same spot. I think they're both ready to go boom boom. TRX is gonna fucking explode. I'd be willing to eat my dick on national television if it doesn't. Problem is that nobody wants me on national television, and I don't blame them. All right, let's look at cash. Okay, first, timeout. If you guys want to know target, a 3 to 4x. I'm gonna leave that there. Cash. I love this coin. Where did I tell you guys to buy this coin at? Jeez. It's DMs, you savages. Maybe it was a Telegram group. It's in the 4-hour 20 EMA, or 200 moving average. Price was at 75.80, and it's now, if we go down to the 4-hour, right all around here, and this was like April 11th-ish. Yeah, right here. Now it's here, it's riding it, and this is gonna break out, guys. You should be able to see this just as clear as day. Cash is an immediate buy. Okay. Let's look at lumens. One day 20 EMA. Don't need to. Still bullish. 20's above 50. Both are above 200. I mean, this is the chart to be in my opinion. It never flipped bearish on the date. I mean, it kind of did, but neither of them went below the 50, the 200. This gets exclamation marks. Let it come back down. What's the volume like? Non-existent. This is a Bittrex though. XLM on Binance. It's been okay. What about on Bitfinex? Or it's not on Bitfinex. It's probably Stellar on Bitfinex. It's not even on Bitfinex. Why is that? What does this tell you on? Okay, so it hasn't had a big volume run, but it never went. Shit. It never went bearish on us. Yeah, this is a fucking buy on the 1 day 20 EMA. For sure, this is a big buy on the 1 day 20 EMA. For me. Substratum. Oh my god, baby, I love you. 1 day 20 EMA. I mean, we bought the bottom. Changing entry to under 5,200 sats. Boom. And that was when it was at 51.63. Bang. I said, buy sub, buy sub, buy sub. Oh my god, sub next leg up coming up. What, 1 day 20 EMA. How's it look on the 4 hour? It's bullish. It might be pushing off for another leg because it did touch the 50 and it didn't lose it. But I still think the 1 day 20 EMA is your friend on this one. Next time you get it there. Yeah, the 1 day 20 EMA is your friend. And then I wouldn't sell it, like, unless it gets below. Oh god, that's a big loss. But shit, man, it looks good. I hate to have you out of this one just because it came down to the 1 day 50 one time. But I want to say 1 day 20 EMA and just let it ride. Let's look at VeChain. Oh, the one. Okay, so those cross on the daily. We haven't had a big volume spike yet though, which I don't think is like a big deal yet. What's the 4 hour look like? It's guaranteed to be bullish, yeah. And go back to the 1 day. We might have a trend line because I don't even think that it got past the 618. No, didn't close below. So this could be setting up an inverted head and shoulders with a descending neckline on a touch of the 50. And it wouldn't be the most symmetrical right shoulder, but it could, you know, if it went sideways there, it could be something to look at. Look at 4 hour. Because you had this trend line. It broke it nicely, and it was just the world's biggest descending wedge. Look at that. It's fucking gorgeous. It's bullish. It's a buy, man. Buy on the 4 hour 20 EMA. 4 hour 20 EMA and 1 day. You can buy a little bit here and then try to get on the 1 day as well. Could be. I think this trend line, did it hold? It is. And that would respect the 4 hour 20 EMA right now. So yeah, 4 hour 20 EMA is a buy. I don't think it really matters. I think we know what's going on with VeChain. I mean, it's not even $4. And what's the market cap? $2 billion. I can't just beat 10 billion. This is a primetime player, man. I don't think it matters. All right, Zcoin. Did I post on here to buy Zcoin? No, it was in the private group. Yeah, it's a very attractive spec buy right now. Jump. Right, 786 line, even though it was bearish from the daily. This was 41,000 sats, 411,000 sats. Zcoin is looking delicious. Yeah, man, it's looking good. Call it a rising wedge. I really don't. It's not even developed yet, so no. 4 hour 20 EMA. And what's up with the 1 day? It's about to cross. And 1 day 20E. Once it crosses 200. Technically supposed to wait for the 50, but I don't think it matters. Zcash. Jesus Christ. All this chair stuff, how do you get some? Cash is only on shit exchanges. It looks like I was gonna hop in, but not on any of those. Huobi's not a shit exchange. Huobi's a pretty good stream, Bradley. It's a pretty good exchange. And also, sorry, the trash. This is a recycling truck now. Sorry if you guys can hear that. That's the good thing. Like, you want to buy these good coins like Cash and Dragon on shitty exchanges before they're on big exchanges. Like, you gotta turn that thinking around. Cash is a fucking good coin, man. That'll be top 20 market cap in my opinion. What they're going for. They have a good team. Why focus on half-baked shitcoin? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, okay, Bradley, that's cool. I mean, whatever works for you, man. If you don't want to spread yourself thin on too many exchanges, that totally makes sense. I get it. Like, try to make good money on a few positions that, you know, can really accelerate your portfolio, and try to get, you know, yourself some more buying power. Let's keep going. Zcash. I think this is good. At least up. This coin's so oversold. At least up to 350 bucks. What's the 4 hour 20 EMA tell us? Yeah, it's technically a rising wedge, but who gives a shit? For our 20 EMA, short-term target 350. Let's look at ZRX. Then I gotta get running. I got lunch. somebody. After a few more of these, we got 5 more after this. 1 day 20 EMA. And if you guys want me to tell you targets, I could go through targets on these, but they're all going to be fucking moon targets. I mean, they just are. Yeah, I do 1 day 20 EMA on this. INS, just be patient. Like, be patient for these. INS, it's one that I told you guys to buy. 4 hour 20 EMA is a buy. I think it's going to take off. I think this is an okay project, I really do. It's had a good volume profile too. Yeah. And 1 day 20E. Gas. It's right there, man, isn't it? So 4 hours got to be bullish. Yes, it is. It's a really good volume profile. Just more buying than selling overall. And this coin, I think, in the future is going to be worth way more than it is. This is a really good buy and hold, in my opinion. If you want, like, it's a utility token on the Neo blockchain, like, that makes it, powers it, makes it go. Some people say that gas is going to be worth more than Neo in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this would be, what are we waiting on here? This is technically what everybody's going to be waiting on. But this just looks like a gigantic inverted head and shoulders pattern to begin the chart on Binance. I say just buy the 4 hour 20 EMA. I mean, technically, a lot of Twitter traders would want to do this, get this in this accumulation zone here. They put a box there and be like, buy there. Yeah, you can. I don't think it's going to matter eventually, though. Let's say 4 hour 20 EMA. And then let it ride. I mean, its all-time high in USDT was $100. Gas. Buy 1 day 20 E on USDT pair. Is there a USDT pair anywhere? I don't think there is. But according to US dollar chart, that's where you want to buy it. And then you have yourself a US dollar trend line here. So you can track the BTC chart. It broke it, but it came right back above. Alright, ACT A-Chain. It's a great project. There's just, I tried to buy it yesterday. I tried to add my position. It just wasn't, I mean, the buys were at like 3,000 sats and the sells were at like 6,000. You just couldn't do anything. Looks good, man. Looks really good. I'm going to fight through some resistance here. But I will go to new all-time highs, no problem. That's a good project. Inverted head and shoulders here. What's the volume look like? Yeah, we got a lot of volume coming in. This 4 hour 20 minutes is fine, and then just hold it. You could dump it below that trend line if you have no risk tolerance. On a close, a 1 day close. Oh my god, this looks so good. So fucking good. Jeez, man. I know I've said this 5 times looking at this chart. Look at those coiled moving averages. This is gonna fucking boom boom shortly. This is gonna boom boom shortly. Yeah, man. 4-hour 20 EMA. It's gonna boom boom like crazy. What's the market cap on Knowles? $121 million with the 40 million max supply or circulating supply. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Hold that shit. Hold that. That's a really low max supply or circulating supply. I don't know what the max supply is. But yeah, this is just a really long consolidation pattern. Yes. Nice. Kind of reminds me of this on Nia. See that? Spike, long consolidation. Spike, long consolidation. Now this, I think that's the 786. Might be the 618. Almost a 786, yeah. And that did respect the 786. So they're pretty much the same thing. Big spike, 786. Big spike, 786. Both consolidation patterns. I've been in this game for a while, guys. I know a chart when I see it. This looks the exact fucking same. Not that it's the same project or anything, but that chart looks the exact fucking same. 4-hour 20 EMA. Knowles is gonna fucking moon PPT. This is the last one. Oh my god, that volume. This is a major buy at the 1 day 20 EMA. Major buy. Target new all-time highs, but at least 800,000, just under 800,000 sats. It's just a huge pump and dump. Pump on no volume, dump on no volume. Volume profile 2 consecutive days that make your fucking knees weak. This is gonna go. It's gonna bounce on here, maybe go a little bit below, close right back above, maybe the next day or something, like kind of over here. But you need to let it do its thing and consolidate for a little while. It's not gonna happen overnight, or don't expect it to happen overnight. But this is a major buy at the 1 day 20 EMA. So everything's looking good. What's Bitcoin looking like? I gotta get off of here. 8,900, just doing his thing. You guys have any questions? Long-term target, also Tree Fitty, also Gold, Miracle Chain. No, I can't. I gotta run, guys. This has been over 2 hours. Everybody's asking AXP. Okay, I'll go for AXP. This is the last one. I think AXP's, is it on KuCoin? Yes. Is it on Binance? No. Okay, it's a KuCoin coin. Once these things get going, guys, we can look for targets. I'm giving you entries because alt season hasn't really begun yet. If you want me to do a 7-hour fucking video, I can do targets too. It's a lot of lower wicks and upper wicks. More lower, but it's a good volume profile recently on this spike. 450s at 751. 1 day 20 is 650. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1 day 20 on AXP and then hold it. All right, I'll do Blue Zell, but guys, I gotta run. I really do. This has been over 2 hours. I got Bart yelling at me. What a drop this fucking coin had. Goodness gracious. Good volume. And like just because this has like a bear div from here to there, and then here to there, and here to there, it doesn't mean the trend's over. It just means pick it up at the 1-day 20 EMA, it's gonna fall a little further. BLZ 1D20E. Target, I don't know. I mean, there's never been. I need to see where this finds a low at, and then I can at least do a trend-based fib extension wherever the low is. Let's say from here, and do something like a 1 9,000 sats or like 10,000 sats would probably be a good target to start. But we got to get some more market structure. Okay, previous highs 12,000, 11,000 sats, something like that. But we need more. Yeah, 11,000 sats is 1.618 a trend-based fib. If this is the low, is probably a good target to aim for. Give a big cup, maybe a handle, and then boom, boom. And that cup into the handle could be a longer. And then the handle, if it came down here, would be like a longer ascending triangle or bullish pennant. Boom. And then we can once we have that and we have a larger market structure low put in as it keeps going, like say it wants to do it here, and we really get into a crazy ass alt season, this would put us into August. It's not going to spike into August. So maybe your goal would be like 10,000 to 11,000 sats. That's so premature though. We have a limited data set. We can't really project off that. So, all right, I gotta run, guys. I love you. Catch you guys on the flippy flip. Be good. Trade happy. Happy trading, I mean. Don't go FOMOing into shit. I will send out a list later. I have a few things I have to do. You might get it tonight. I'm sorry. I'm backed up. I got a ton of shit to do. So, a few meetings to go to and stuff. So, well, I could probably come back. I don't know. All right, guys. One love.